Hey Julia. So I wanted to give you my 2 cents on what I think is going on with the shoulder stuff after not doing anything for a month or month and a half now and doing PT for a month. You should definitely feel a little bit better. Two things that go on with the shoulder. First, let me back up a second. Your joint is made to last forever. So going in for surgery and having them repair it, I don't think is going to really help. You could get an MRI. They'll say, yeah, you have a slight tear in your rotator cuff, but probably all of us who are athletes have some sort of tear in a rotator cuff, but you could still perform normal movements. But what's going on, the two things that are going on, is you have a tissue extensibility problem or a mechanical instability problem. Probably your case, I would think it's more of the tissue extensibility, which means the tissue can't slide the way it's supposed to. So if you stretch, it actually doesn't stretch out the tissue because it's so glued down and matted down that it can't actually slide the way it's supposed to. So like your scapula should be able to slide across your rib cage like that, but they get a little bit stuck. So instead of it sliding out, your shoulder just dumps forward, and then you just get a bunch of resistance on that bicipital tendon, and that's probably why you're so sore and tender in that bicipital tendon, is because the head of the humerus is sliding forward in the socket instead of spinning around the way it's supposed to if the scapula can actually slide across the rib cage. So I'm going to show you a bicipital tendon stretch that will hopefully stretch that out for you, loosen it up. I'll give you some lat, some surrat, and some pec stuff, because I think that's your biggest issue is tightness in here, and especially now with your new job. You're probably in this position, you're typing, you're writing, you're phone calling. So on top of doing this for however many years with the city, you've built a dominance in that anterior portion, so it's tight, we need to loosen, and now you're here, so you're in that forward posture, so now all this is continued to be tight. So I think your stability and strength in your scapula is good. We just need to kind of clean up some of this stuff that'll probably be a little bit different than what you're doing in PT instead of working on, some external rotation stuff and scapular pinches. I'll give you a little bit of stability stuff and like a reset. So take your band. So what I do is just put it over your wrist, loop it through your hand like this, and all I'm going to do is bring it behind me and just loop it over my shoulder, just like I have a backpack. So what I'm doing, so you can see, is that will pull against here, and I just want to stand nice and tall, give it a little tug, and just kind of hang out here. You want to do this for a couple of minutes, just get a stretch so you're not dumped forward here. You're straight, so you're kind of getting a good stretch there. And then when you're done, let it go and kind of let it just dump forward instead of trying to pull it away from your body that way. The other one, I want you to just tie it to your rack at home. I'll do the other arm just so you can see it better. I'll stick it just above my elbow. My hand will go behind my back. I'm going to get down on my knee so I can get that shoulder back. So I'm going to stretch the chest and that bicipital tendon. I'm going to turn away from the band. Same thing, hang out here for a couple of minutes to let it stretch. Next, I'm going to get you, let me move the camera here, get you on the ground. So I don't know if you have, that light's kind of a little bit rough. I don't know if you have a PVC pipe. If not, you could use your foam roller. But we did these before anyway. But get right in on that lat and really beat up some of that stuff. Get right on the inside here, like almost on the ribs, and roll on it back and forth that way. And even get a little bit of range in that shoulder. So you're kind of gluing down that lat and reaching. Rock back a little bit, get on that scapula, same thing, and reach to loosen up some of that stuff. but I would go through this whole thing, same thing, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, or you could do 120 seconds if that's easier for you. So yeah, kind of roll this and get range of motion in there. And now for pec, which I don't know if you have a ball, you could use a medicine ball that's obviously bigger. I got this ball, it's like a bigger super ball, like a big lacrosse ball. I got it at 5 Below, but you're gonna kind of stick it right on your chest and we're gonna work out that way. So I'm just gonna lay on here like this, and then I'm gonna go through that range of motion there. So what I'm gonna do with this opposite side, this knee is up, so I'm dumped more into this side. I'm looking away, and now I can reach. I could stick my arm out and do rotations and just move it out. Same thing, rotate, move. Ugh. You're gonna feel, it's gonna be pretty gnarly in there, but kind of start right in the middle and work right across the top of the clavicle there where that chest is attached, and loosen all that stuff up. So next one, which I think you already do in your PT, is like a scapular pinch. So start here first and just pinch. So we're just letting the scapulas pinch. If you could already do that, then get up into a push-up. If not, we can go here, same thing. Just let those scapulas pinch back and forth that way. So that give you a little bit of a scapular stability movement. And then, although I have a super light kettlebell here, use probably at least a 25, 30, whatever you have kettlebell. All I'm gonna do is hold it up. I wanna turn so my palm is facing me, and I'm gonna hold my elbow so it stays straight. So I don't want my shoulder up, I want it down into the floor. And it just kind of lets the head of the humerus sit in the back of the socket where it's most stable. Same thing, just kind of hang out here for a couple of minutes. So if your arm is straight, it's just pushing the bone down. Don't let it get out too far to the side where you're muscularly holding it up. Just let the weight of the kettlebell shove the head back and just hang out there. It's kind of a reset. Let it build some stability in there. So anyway, my 2 cents. Hope all's going good for you. We'll see ya.